Hello guys, welcome back to another video. How you all doing today? Thank you so much guys for coming back. In today's video I'm going to be showing us how to make this short Ankara dress. I'm going to be making use of 3 different fabrics. This is for the upper part, this is for the middle, and this is for the lower part. I'll be making use of half yard for the upper part, the middle part is half yards, and the lower part is 1 yard because of the gather. Altogether I'll be making use of 2 yards of fabric, half, and 1 yard. Now I have a pattern paper here. I'll be drafting the upper part first before transferring to my fabric. The dress length is 38 inches. I will divide 38 by 3. I will add extra 1.5 inches for the elastic for the upper part. Let's get started. I'll mark 1.5 inches. This is for elastic case. I will use this 1.5 inches to create the channel for elastic. This is my starting point. This is 1.5 inches thick. The dress is an off shoulder dress. I'll be minusing 5 inches for the off shoulder. So I will place my tape here. I will start my measurement right from this 1.5 inches. I'll minus 5 inches. So I will place the armhole measurement. To get the armhole measurement, I will divide the bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Mine is 8 inches. I'll mark 8 inches here. The waistline is 17.5 inches. And the hip line is 26.5 inches. I will draft it out before cutting it out. I will make a line here. So this is the waistline and this is the hip line. So I'll go ahead and place the circumference measurement. So I'll measure from here to here. I have 12 inches. I will divide the 12 inches by 2 and place it here. 12 divided by 2 is 6 inches. I will add half inch for sewing allowance. That's 6.5 inches. I will place the bust measurement right on the chest line here. The bust measurement is 40 inches. Divided by 4 is 10 inches. I'll mark 10 inches here. The dress is a free gown, so I'll mark 1.5 inches for ease. This is the waistline. The waist measurement is 34 inches. Divided by 4 is 8.5. I'll mark 8.5 and still add 1.5 inches for ease. So I'll go to the hip line and place a quarter of the hip measurement right on the hip line here and add 1.5 inches for ease. A quarter of the hip measurement is 11.25. I'll add 1.5 inches for ease. I will go ahead and connect the lines. So I'll connect it from the chest line to the waist. And from the waist I will bring it to the hip line. So I will go to the armhole here and make a little curve. If I place my tape here, minus the 5 inches, I have 26.5 inches up to the hip measurement. So I'll be cutting this out. So I'm folding this for the elastic. I'll fold this inside. I'll just place my tape here. I want to divide this equal parts. I will divide this by 2. So this is 22 inches. So I'll mark 11 inches for the upper part and 11 inches for the middle part. and we cut it here. So I want to have equal pattern. This side is folded inside because this is the allowance for the elastic. So I will go ahead and fold my fabric into two and transfer the pattern to my fabric. I'll be using this for the upper part. So this is for the upper part. I will open up my pattern and place it like so. So remember, we did not add sewing allowance to the pattern, and we add 1 inch for sewing allowance on this side, ½ inch for sewing allowance at the bottom here, and add ½ inch for sewing allowance here. So here I already have my sewing allowance for the upper part. So I'll add ½ inch here and add 1 inch on this side. I'll cut out this. I will lay my fabric on the table and cut out the middle part. I'll place my pattern like so. The second one has no gather, it's only the lower part that has the gather. So what I will do is I will add ½ inch for sewing allowance on this side, ½ inch for sewing allowance for the upper part here. I'll be joining this to the upper part, and 1 inch for sewing allowance here, the side. So I will be using this to cut out the back side. Since I'm not adding zip to the dress, I will still cut out the back side the way I cut out the front. I will use this to cut out the back side, the same fabric. So guys, I've cut out the front and the back, and I'll go ahead and join them together. So I'll be using this later on as we move on. I would like to join them first before cutting out the lower parts. I'll take one of the upper parts and take one of the middle parts. So I will join them together, right side facing right side. I will use ½ inch to join them together. I will do the same thing for the back side. So guys, I'm done joining the upper part and the middle together. So I'll be adding the lower part to it. Remember I said the length of the dress is 38 inches. This 1.5 inches is the elastic case, so I will fold it inside. I will still minus 5 inches for the off shoulder to get the 38 inches. So what I have here is 26.5 inches. So for the upper part here, I have 11 inches for this one, and this one is 11 inches, that's 22 inches. I'll be adding 11 inches for the lower part, that's 38 inches. So I have my fabric for the lower part here. Remember the lower part is gather. I will measure here and use what I have to cut out the lower part. I have 28 inches here. I will times this 28 inches by 2 because it's a gather. 28 times 2 is 56 inches. So I'll be cutting out 56 inches. The wideness is 56 inches. The length is 11 inches. I'll be adding 1.5 inches for sewing allowance because I will use ½ inch to join it to the upper part and use 1 inch to hem the lower part. What I'm going to do is I will use 1 inch to hem the lower part. After I've done that, I will gather this lower part. I will gather this lower part here. So I will make sure this 56 inches fit in this 28 inches here. I will turn it to the right side. So I will gather it as I stitch it. I will use ½ inch to join them together. So guys, I've attached the gather to the dress. This gather here, the one I attached to the dress, is 56 inches for the front and the back is 56 inches. So I will go ahead and join the front and the back together, right side facing each other. I'll make sure they are aligned together. This side align, Remember our sewing allowance is 1 inch. I will use 1 inch to join this side and use 1 inch to join this side. I've finished joining the front and the back together. So as you can see, they are aligned together. This is the back. Go ahead and cut out the sleeves. I'll use a very simple method to cut out the sleeves. The round shoulder I'm working with is 45 inches. So I will check what I have here. I have 14.5 inches here. The front is 14.5 inches and the back is 14.5 inches. That's 29 inches. The round shoulder is 45 inches. I will minus 29 inches from 45 inches. 45 minus 29 inches is 16 inches. Because I'm making 2 sleeves, I will divide 16 inches by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. One side is 8 inches and the other side is 8 inches. So this is the fabric I'm making use of. I'll fold it into 2. Folded into 2 is 9 inches. So we go to the upper part here. I will still divide that 8 inches by 2 because I folded the fabric into 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4 inches. I'll mark 4 inches here. I'll add ½ inch for sewing allowance. Because I'm adding elastic to it, I don't want it to be too tight. I will add extra 1.5 inches to it. So this is what I have here. Mark it here. So I will take this and place it like so. I will place it like so. This is the simplest method. I will leave 1 inch here for sewing allowance. I will go ahead and cut it like so. I'm still folding this 1.5 inches for the elastic. I'll fold 1.5 inches to take the length of the sleeve. I will make the sleeve 10 inches. I will add extra 1.5 inches. I'll be adding elastic here. So I'll add extra 1.5 inches to the tip. So I'll go ahead and then cut it out. So I will use this to cut out the other side. What I will do is I will take ½ inch inside and take 1 inch. That's 1.5 inches. I added 1.5 inches for elastic case. So I'll go ahead and stitch here. So I'm done stitching the elastic case. I will measure here and use it to cut out the elastic. I have a 12 inches here. I will cut out 11 inches elastic. I will subtract 1 inch from 12 inches. So I have 11 inches here. I will use safety pin to insert it inside the elastic case. So I'll make sure I secure here. I will go ahead and then use 1 inch to stitch this side. So I'm done joining the sides together. I'll go ahead and attach the sleeve to the dress. I will take the sleeve. I will match them together, right side facing right side. I will use ½ inch to stitch it around. And take this to this side. And then use ½ inch to stitch it on this side. I will repeat the same thing for the other sleeve. So guys, I'm done attaching the sleeves to the dress. We're almost done. So what we are going to do next is to fold ½ inch like so and fold 1 inch. Stitch it around the neckline. We're creating an elastic case for the upper part. I will leave 1 inch unsewed. That is where my elastic will pass through. So guys, I'm done creating the elastic case. I left about 1 inch unsewed here. This is where my elastic will pass through. My round shoulder is 45 inches. I'll be using about 33 inches elastic. I don't want it too tight nor too loose. So I'll insert my elastic. I'll pass it through this other side. I will knot it. I will close this 1 inch I left open. So guys, we're done with today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're here for the first time. I will see you in my next one. Love you. Bye.